Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be going through my top 5 best buildings from the Christmas updates in Tapped Out. I'm only doing top 5, and I know 2 years ago I did top 10, and you know, there's been 2 years now, 2 years worth of Christmas buildings. The only reason I'm doing top 5 is I just want to be consistent with this like little series I'm doing. I know the NPCs was top 3, but I feel like just doing top 5 of buildings because, to be honest, it's just easier for me. Gets the video out quicker, and and also I always feel like if I do a 10, I'm adding buildings on the list I really just don't like, and I'm just sort of throwing them there on purpose because I've not really got any other choice. And with the top 5 worst, it's gonna be a lot different. The top 5 worst, but I felt that this list is very similar to my list from 2 years ago because there's not many buildings that have really made it on this list, especially now that I've only done top 5. But I'm going to start each one with an honourable mention, or a dishonourable mention, but obviously today we're doing an honourable mention. And so my first honourable mention on this list is going to be for the Slide Factory. I do think the Slide Factory is a really, really awesome and unique building, really, really cool to have in the game. Definitely one I really wanted for a while, and when we got it, I was pretty pleased with it. It's the right size and everything, and it's pretty easy to decorate because it kind of decorates itself. So you just throw some car parks in front of it, and it's pretty much already there. My second honorable mention is actually going to be Eskimos. So Eskimos is essentially. It was a building from the movie. It's a building in Alaska, and we got it this year. It was just kind of thrown in there, but it's kind of one of those buildings where it was like a miscellaneous building. It was always going to be kind of hard to add it in the game, so I don't really mind them throwing it in to Christmas because, of course, it is in a snowy scenario, and Christmas. One of the iconographies behind Christmas is, of course, snow, so it made sense to throw it in there. Just throw it into Christmas, and maybe if they were to do some sort of alcohol-themed event, they could have thrown it in there, and it would have made a little bit more sense. But I don't mind it as a Christmas building, and I do think it is a really nice little kind of cool little wooden building just to place, and it just kind of makes a nice little decoration. It's not like a particularly amazing building, but I really think that these kind of small little mini buildings really do make up the game, because without them, it wouldn't look right. So that building I really do like, and I appreciate that we got. Anyway. But now into the actual list. Let's go. So yeah, we'll do our top 5. So number five, I have put the Heavenly Swing Set. So this, of course, was from this year. I really, really love this building, and you guys know that I like this building. I've kind of talked about it quite a lot. Definitely is my favourite building from this event, from the last Christmas event. Really, really did enjoy it. The reason is because it's just so unique. The fact that, well, first of all, they kind of combined 3 different decorations, and I really liked how they did that. So they had the swing set that was from one episode. They had the stairwell that leads to the little office, and then they had the office itself. Now I know that you could argue that the office and the stairwell were already technically together, whatever. But the fact that they added the swing set as well, and then there's also a little cloud where Jesus can kind of sit on it with his little animations. But the animations it includes for Jesus are just so funny and so awesome to have. The fact that we've got this building, and it's kind of really important for Jesus' character because, of course, he does all of his animations there. But it is also just a really, really cool building. I'll admit it's a tiny little bit hard to place. I think that's probably the only issue with it. It's just so out there that it's kind of not really any placement really makes loads of sense. So it is kind of a hard to decorate building. So that's why it's not really anywhere further up the list. But I do really like it as a building. I'm so glad we got it, and yeah, really, really awesome. Of course, it was donuts because it came in a gill steel, but that's okay. And then the next one, number 4. Number 4 is the Maple Store. So I really, really like the Maple Store. This technically is a Christmas building. It originally came, I'm pretty sure you can buy it for donuts, but I got it in 2012. It was basically the first ever kind of prize that I ever earned in an event. So that's why it kind of is very close to my heart. I really do love this building. It's the first ever thing I won in, I earned in Christmas 2012, the Christmas 2012 update. Really, really nice building. Just simple design. It was originally free, now it's donuts. I think it's installed permanently throughout the entire year, but it was actually originally added in 2012, so technically is a Christmas building, so that's why it's on this list. yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say. Like you guys know, it's just a cool building. I love the whole Apple parody, and it makes a lot of sense considering I played on an iPad. There's like these little things to why I think it's so cool. Because I got my iPad. This was like kind of the first Apple device I ever really had was my iPad, and the first thing I downloaded on my iPad in 2012 was Tapped Out. So it was kind of funny that I got an Apple parody store in my game. So I just think that is really, really awesome. I really love that building, and yeah, definitely deserves number 4. Number 3, I have put the Play-Doh Factory. So the reason I've put the Play-Doh Factory is because first of all, it's kind of the thing that unlocks Maggie. Sort of. And it's an awesome building. It's a massive parody building, and it is stupid and ridiculous to why it doesn't make any sense, but I love that because that's what Christmas should be. Christmas should have those kind of ridiculous buildings, you know. I really do like it. Really, really awesome, kind of funny thing. And of course now it doubles down as a mini game. You click on it and you actually can earn donuts from it. You can earn up to 3 donuts from it. Obviously, once you build up the different little mini games and you find Maggie 3 times, you can actually get 3 donuts. And it's just really cool, like the fact that you could, was it one donut? No, is it a donut? Or whatever. But the fact that you can earn donuts from it now is just really cool. It's just another method for players who obviously don't, who obviously need to earn donuts, can actually earn donuts from this, and they can use it to earn donuts. I guess the game can get a little bit repetitive. I've definitely felt that with some of the mini games, so I can understand if people are doing that every day. It could feel probably very repetitive, but the fact that it's there as an option is pretty cool, and I do like that. Really, really cool building, and I just think overall it's just nice to have. And then number 2, if you guys remember the list from 2 years ago, you probably don't, but I've swapped number 2 and number 1 around because purposely, because I just feel like as of today, back then I would have agreed. Like if I was back then, I would have agreed with my list, but now I kind of disagree just because of what happened. So number 2 is the Happy Little Elves ride, and of course the reason this is no longer number 1 on my list is because Krusty Land has died, and I still respect this building because I still think it's a really, really cool building to have. So of course it's just this Krusty Land ride came out on Christmas, and it's just really nice. It has these kind of like, you know, it's just a cool building overall. The reason it's not number 1 anymore is because Krusty Land basically is now gone. We don't use it anymore. There's no point visiting it anymore. It's really a shame because the fact that they made it up to be this massive thing, and then they only did a few things to add it. But this was one of the things they actually added after Krusty Land had originally aired, if you want, or originally came. This was like one of those kind of buildings they added, and this was a really, really nice little ride to have. I really decorated this quite well, and I was so glad when they added it because it gave something. It kind of refreshed Krusty Land a little bit. It's just now I just feel like it's not as relevant. It was also like a final prize, I'm pretty sure, so it was a pretty important thing. I think it definitely deserved to be that final prize, just because Krusty Land obviously happened like a year before, or like half a year before, so it was really nice to get this and then get Krusty Land and then this to kind of refresh Krusty Land and add something new. So that's why I've thrown that on the list. And then I guess we'll have to go to my number 1. So can we have that drum roll? I've given it to Costingtons, so sue me. No. Now, the reason I've given it to Costingtons is, and a lot of people may disagree with me, because it is a really random building to have as number 1, and I understand that. The reason is I just like it so much because it's the perfect embodiment for Christmas. Not just that. Like, it's not just the only reason, but I love the fact that we have, like, it's just a nice square building. It's easy to fit on a corner. It's very simple to decorate. You don't even need to do much with it. You just either sit it on a corner, or you sit it on, like, and put some car parks in front of it. It decorates itself, and a building that decorates itself is brilliant. That's why I think the best buildings are the ones that you can that really just decorate themselves. You place them down. You don't need to do much to really decorate them. It's so kind of big and huge, and I do admit that it's maybe it could be a tiny bit smaller, but actually no, I do like it. Of course, it came with Mr. Costington, who is a pretty cool character, very funny, unique character. The building itself is just a simple kind of supermarket kind not supermarket, a simple kind of department store that just looks realistic, and it looks realistic. It fits in well with the town. It's not like out of place like something like the Play-Doh factory, for example, which just doesn't really make much sense to why it's so big and funky. The Costingtons is just a nice simple building to place down. It was free as well, so that was originally, so that was pretty cool. Now I know it would be donuts with Mr. Costington, but of course, like the original thing, you got to understand that the original thing, it was free. Pretty sure it was also the final prize as well. Yeah, it was the final prize, so it was like this big thing that everyone was building to. I think it was Mr. Costington's anyway. It was either that or the Yes guy, but yeah, I think it was Mr. Costington's, the final prize. But it just it's really cool building, just a simple building. And there's a simple reason why I like it. It's not really that complex or anything, and it's just a nice building to have. So anyway, guys, that's it for my list. Please tell me what your top 5 are. Just give me your top 5, or at least your top 3. Or if you can't give me your top 3, just give me one, your top building. I should be getting out. There probably won't be a video tomorrow. I don't think so. Sorry, but I will soon enough have my top 5 worst buildings. Then I'm going to do costumes, Christmas worst costumes, and then I'll be done with Christmas whatsoever, like 100%. And I'll move on to doing my kind of best of 2017 videos. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you next one. Goodbye.